ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to shed light on a matter that is deeply important, yet often misunderstood. The subtle and pervasive ways in which women can be controlled and manipulated, especially by forces that seek to diminish their true potential. Our goal is not to place blame, but to unveil the truth so that women may rise above and reclaim their divine purpose. We must first recognize the unique role women play in society. Women are often the heartbeat of families, communities, and nations. They are the nurturers, the providers, the teachers, and the leaders. But it is in this powerful role that the enemy seeks to deceive. When a woman's identity is clouded, when her understanding of her own purpose is skewed, she becomes vulnerable to forces that would seek to control her life. Demons, my friends, are expert manipulators. They understand that the heart of a woman is a powerful thing. Her emotions, her desires, her passions. These are powerful tools that, when aligned with the divine, lead to creation, transformation, and healing. But when misdirected, they become avenues through which the enemy can sow confusion, doubt. The enemy does not always attack directly. Sometimes it begins with a whisper. You're not good enough. You don't measure up. Your worth is tied to what others think of you. These whispers are designed to make a woman feel small, insignificant, or powerless. When a woman believes she is nothing more than the sum of her failures or the expectations of others, she becomes an easy target for control. And this control is not always obvious. It often comes through external pressures, societal expectations that tell a woman she must fit into a mold of perfection, beauty, or submission. The world would have her believe that her value is based on external appearances or conforming to narrow, limiting definitions of success. But in truth, these pressures are nothing more than chains designed to keep her from discovering the greatness within her. But let me be clear. The greatest strength a woman possesses lies not in her outward appearance, nor in the approval of others, but in the knowledge of who she is, and what she is called to do. When a woman connects with her divine identity, she is untouchable. No force, no demon, no enemy can stand against a woman who knows her worth and purpose in God. We must remember that the mind of a woman is often the battlefield. Demons seeking to distort her thoughts and emotions attack her with fear, doubt, and insecurities. They convince her that she is inadequate, unworthy, and incapable of achieving the dreams that were planted within her. But the power to overcome this manipulation lies within her. The power to overcome this manipulation lies within her. This, in every woman, is the potential for greatness, for restoration, for victory. But to access this power, she must be empowered spiritually and mentally. She must seek knowledge and wisdom, for it is in understanding the truth that the chains of deception can be broken. She must refuse to accept the lies that say she is anything less than what she was created to be. In 2000, I urge you, women, to stand tall. Recognize the power you hold. Understand that your purpose is not defined by the standards of the world, but by the divine calling that resides deep within you. Seek to know your worth. Seek to align with your true purpose and refuse to allow any force, whether spiritual, mental, or emotional, to control or manipulate you. The world is waiting for the women who will rise in their power, embrace their divine calling, and walk in the strength that was destined for them. The time is now, and you, dear woman, are the key to your own victory. Women have always held a central role in the fabric of society. Throughout history, they have been the pillars upon which families are built, communities are nurtured, and nations are shaped. The influence of a woman is undeniable, whether it is in her capacity to create life, to lead with empathy, or to inspire change. In every aspect of society, women have been the catalyst for growth and transformation, yet often their power is underestimated, underappreciated, or even manipulated. The role of women is not limited to any one dimension. Women are caretakers, healers, providers, and educators. In families, they are the first teachers instilling values and knowledge that shape the next generation. They create environments of safety and warmth where relationships flourish and love and understanding grow. Women play crucial roles in every sector of society, from politics to business, from the arts to the sciences, and every area in between. Despite this broad influence, women are often pressured to conform to specific roles defined by external expectations, rather than being allowed to walk fully in their own divine purpose. This central role in society means that women have the potential to affect every aspect of life. A woman's choices, her voice, and her actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond her immediate surroundings. This makes her not just a participant in society, but a force of transformation, capable of building or tearing down, of healing or hurting. Understanding this dynamic gives clarity as to why forces that seek to undermine humanity often target women. If you can control or distort the role of women, you can destabilize society itself. When women are deceived into thinking their true worth and purpose are lesser than what they are, it creates a societal imbalance that affects everyone. To understand the role of women in society, we must also recognize that women are creators. Their innate ability to nurture and bring life into the world speaks to a divine calling. But creativity isn't just about bearing children. It's about shaping futures, building legacies, and creating possibilities. Whether they are raising children, building businesses, or leading organizations, women possess an inherent power to shape the world around them in profound ways. So, when a woman understands the significance of her influence and steps fully into her role as a change maker, she taps into a force that can uplift and transform entire communities. This is why the forces of darkness often target women's sense of worth and purpose. If society can manipulate a woman into doubting her capabilities, her role, and her divine calling, she becomes a weaker version of herself, one that is less able to fulfill her potential, less able to serve her community, and less able to wield the power that she inherently holds. To truly understand the role of women in society, we must move beyond traditional stereotypes and external pressures. The role of a woman isn't confined to what others expect of her. It is defined by what she is uniquely called to do in this world. The strength of women lies not in conforming to what the world defines as their worth, but in realizing that their worth is immeasurable, their potential boundless. Identity and purpose are foundational to the life of every woman. When a woman understands who she truly is and why she exists, she becomes an unstoppable force, capable of accomplishing things that transcend ordinary limits. Without this understanding, however, she may find herself lost in confusion, uncertainty, and manipulation. A woman's identity isn't defined by her relationships, her physical appearance, or even by societal standards of success. A true identity is rooted in something much deeper, something more eternal. And it is this understanding that empowers her to walk in her full potential. At the core of every woman lies a unique calling, a divine purpose that was placed within her from the moment of creation. This purpose is not something to be imposed by the world, nor is it something that can be easily changed by the expectations of others. It is a deep, unshakable understanding of why she was created, what she is meant to contribute to the world, and how she is meant to live her life. When a woman knows her purpose, she becomes anchored in a way that keeps her from being swayed by the pressures, lies, and distractions that seek to lead her astray. When a woman does not know her true identity or purpose, she becomes vulnerable to the forces that will seek to define her in ways that are not aligned with her divine calling. These forces prey on her insecurities, her doubts, and her vulnerabilities, convincing her that her worth is based on how well she fits into the molds created by society. They lead her to believe that her value is tied to her outward appearance, her success in a particular role, or her ability to meet the expectations of others. And in doing so, they rob her of the opportunity to discover the profound power that lies within her. This is why identity is so powerful. It shapes every decision a woman makes, every path she chooses, and every action she takes. A woman who understands her identity knows where she is going, and she has the confidence to pursue her dreams without hesitation. She is no longer bound by the fleeting opinions of others, nor is she controlled by the fear of not measuring up. And her identity empowers her to stand firm in her values, her beliefs, and her sense of self-worth, regardless of external influences. Identity cannot be fully realized without understanding purpose. Purpose is the driving force behind everything a woman does. It is the vision that inspires her to push through challenges, the fuel that sustains her when the journey gets difficult. Purpose brings clarity, focus, and direction to her life, guiding her through the ups and downs with a sense of meaning and fulfillment. For his own heritage, mother regained her dignity, granted her the right to share in the fruits of her labor with her daughter. Without purpose, life can feel aimless, and it is easy for a woman to become distracted, discouraged, or disillusioned. Purpose is what helps her rise above the lies and manipulations that seek to diminish her power. It is what helps her reject the false narratives that say she is not enough, or that she should settle for a life that falls short of her potential. When a woman knows her purpose, she doesn't need validation from the outside world. She's already validated by the truth of who she is and what she was created to do. This internal alignment becomes the foundation upon which she can build her life, unshaken by the trials and tribulations that inevitably come her way. To live in alignment with one's identity and purpose is to experience a deep sense of fulfillment, peace, and confidence. It is a life where a woman is not just surviving, but thriving. Where she is not just reacting to life circumstances, but actively creating the future she was meant to live. And when a woman fully embraces her identity and purpose, the world around her begins to shift. The first and most important of the 5 principles. Truth, she becomes a beacon of light, a source of inspiration, and a catalyst for change, because she's operating from a place of deep knowledge and inner strength. The enemy knows this, and it is why the battle for a woman's identity and purpose is one of the fiercest. If she can be deceived into thinking that she is less than what she was created to be, if she can be led to believe that her purpose is insignificant or unattainable, she becomes disconnected from the very source of her power. This is why it is so critical for women to awaken to the truth of who they are and why they are here. When they do, they can walk in the full authority of their divine calling, reshaping not only their own lives, but the world around them. Emotions are one of the most powerful forces within a woman. They have the ability to inspire, to heal, and to create deep connections with others. However, when emotions are not understood or controlled, they can also become a source of vulnerability, a doorway through which deception can enter. The enemy knows this well and often exploits emotional weaknesses to manipulate and control a woman, steering her away from her true purpose and causing her to question her worth. Emotional manipulation can be subtle. It doesn't always appear as a direct attack, but rather as a gradual erosion of confidence and clarity. Emotions like fear, guilt, anger, and insecurity can cloud judgment, distort perception, and lead to decisions that are not in alignment with a woman's true self. When a woman is emotionally ungrounded, she is more likely to fall prey to lies that convince her she is not enough, that she must earn love, or that her value is based on external validation. These lies feed off of her vulnerabilities, convincing her to internalize negative beliefs that do not reflect her true identity or worth. The emotional nature of women makes them more susceptible to these manipulations. A woman's capacity to care deeply, to empathize, and to nurture others is a gift. But when these emotions are not understood or directed properly, they can be used to exploit her. For instance, guilt can be a powerful tool in undermining a woman's sense of peace. She may feel guilty for taking time for herself, for pursuing her own dreams, or for setting boundaries with others. This guilt can be manufactured by external pressures, or by the voices that tell her she should always put others first, even to her own detriment. The result is that she becomes emotionally drained, sacrificing her own well-being for the approval or acceptance of others. Similarly, fear can become a tool of control. A woman may fear failure, rejection, or not measuring up. This fear can keep her from stepping into her full potential or taking the risks necessary to grow and evolve. Fear tells her that she is not capable, that her dreams are too big, or that she is destined to fall short. When fear takes root, it paralyzes her, preventing her from acting with confidence or pursuing her true purpose. The enemy uses this fear to keep her trapped in a cycle of self-doubt, always second-guessing her decisions and never fully trusting in her ability to succeed. Insecurity also plays a pivotal role in emotional deception. Women are often bombarded with societal standards of beauty, success, and worth, leading them to compare themselves to others and question their own value. The enemy uses this insecurity to create a sense of inadequacy, whispering lies that say they are not enough or that they need to change who they are in order to be accepted. These insecurities can create internal conflict as a woman tries to meet expectations that are not in alignment with her true self. When insecurity takes over, it becomes difficult to make decisions from a place of strength, as the fear of judgment or rejection clouds her ability to trust her instincts. Anger, too, can be an emotional weakness that is exploited. When a woman feels unjustly treated, misunderstood, or unheard, anger can rise to the surface. While anger in itself is not inherently bad, it can become destructive if it is not channeled appropriately. The enemy often uses unresolved anger to create bitterness, resentment, and division, leading to a woman making decisions based on emotional reactions rather than wisdom and understanding. Anger that is allowed to fester and grow can lead to unhealthy patterns of behavior and thinking, preventing her from finding peace or pursuing the path of reconciliation and growth. These emotional weaknesses are not a reflection of a woman's inherent nature, but are often the result of external influences, past traumas, or negative beliefs that have been planted in her mind. The key is to recognize that emotions, while powerful, must be managed and understood. Emotions are meant to serve her, not control her. When a woman learns to recognize the emotional patterns that lead to confusion or manipulation, she can begin to break free from the grip of deception and reclaim her sense of clarity and purpose. Here is the one-way guarantee that in the future you will be aware of your emotional patterns. To overcome this deception, a woman must first acknowledge the role that her emotions play in her decision-making. She must learn to discern between emotions that are aligned with her divine purpose and those that are a product of external pressures or spiritual manipulation. This discernment is vital because it allows her to respond to situations with wisdom and insight, rather than reacting impulsively or out of emotional vulnerability. By grounding herself in truth, she can learn to use her emotions as tools of empowerment, allowing them to guide her toward deeper understanding and connection rather than using them as a foothold for deception. When a woman stands firm in her emotional health, when she understands her feelings and the motivations behind them, she becomes unshakable. She does not allow the lies or manipulation of the enemy to distort her perception of reality. Instead, she learns to navigate her emotions with grace and strength, keeping her heart open to the truth and her mind aligned with her purpose. Number 4, in doing so, she is able to break free from the cycle of emotional manipulation and walk in the fullness of her divine identity, free from the deceptive forces that seek to control her. External pressures are some of the most significant forces that shape a woman's life, often dictating how she perceives herself, her worth, and her role in society. These pressures come from many sources: society, family, relationships, and even self-imposed expectations, and can have a profound impact on a woman's ability to live authentically and in alignment with her true purpose. Society's expectations, in particular, are often rigid, creating a narrow framework within which women are expected to operate. Whether it's the pressure to look a certain way, to achieve specific milestones by certain ages, or to fulfill certain roles, these pressures serve to diminish a woman's sense of self and can lead her to question her own desires and capabilities. One of the most common external pressures women face is the standard of beauty. Society places a great deal of value on physical appearance, often defining a woman's worth based on how closely she aligns with idealized images of beauty. These images are often unrealistic and unattainable, yet they are presented as the benchmark of success. The constant bombardment of this ideal through media, advertising, and even peer influence can lead to feelings of inadequacy. A woman may feel that she must conform to this image in order to be considered valuable, attractive, or worthy of love. This pressure to look a certain way can be emotionally and physically exhausting, leading to low self-esteem, self-doubt, and a disconnect from one's true identity to physical appearance. Societal pressures also extend to career success and personal achievement. There is often an unspoken expectation that women must excel in multiple areas of life, balancing a successful career, managing a family, maintaining a social life, and living up to certain standards of productivity and efficiency. The desire to meet these expectations can leave women feeling overwhelmed and overburdened as they try to fulfill roles in their personal and professional lives that society deems necessary for success. The pressure to do it all often prevents women from taking the time to nurture themselves, explore their true passions, or pursue a path that is not defined by other standards of success. Family dynamics also exert their own set of pressures on women. From an early age, many women are conditioned to prioritize the needs of others above their own. The expectation to be selfless, to always put family or loved ones first, can often lead to women losing sight of their own needs, dreams, and desires. This creates an unhealthy dynamic in which a woman's sense of self becomes entangled with the roles she is expected to play: mother, wife, caregiver, rather than being allowed to flourish as an individual. When women feel they must sacrifice their own well-being or aspirations for the sake of others, it leads to feelings of frustration, resentment, and burnout. The influence of relationships, both romantic and platonic, can also be a powerful external pressure. In romantic relationships, women may feel the weight of expectations related to their partner's needs and desires. This can lead to the belief that their value is tied to how well they meet their partner's expectations, rather than understanding that their value exists independently. Additionally, friendships and social circles can sometimes create pressure for women to conform to certain behaviors or ideologies in order to fit in, leading to a loss of individuality and a fear of rejection if they choose a different path. These relationships, while often well-meaning, can impose subtle expectations that affect a woman's sense of freedom and authenticity. Beyond these more immediate external pressures, women are also influenced by generational expectations and cultural norms. From childhood, women are taught certain values about their roles in the world, which can include the idea that they must behave in specific ways to be considered respectable or worthy of respect. Cultural norms can dictate how a woman should act, speak, or behave, limiting her ability to express herself authentically. These norms, when left unchallenged, can reinforce the belief that a woman's worth is determined by how well she fits into the prescribed mold, rather than allowing her to discover and embrace her unique individuality. External pressures also come from the comparison culture that has grown prevalent in the age of social media. In a world where everyone's life is constantly on display, women may feel an intense desire to measure up to others' seemingly perfect lives, leading them to compare their achievements, relationships, and appearance to what they see online. So, the curated perfection that is often showcased on social platforms can create feelings of inadequacy and anxiety, reinforcing the belief that a woman's worth is determined by external factors rather than internal qualities. All of these pressures create a dissonance between who a woman is and who society tells her she should be. This disconnection can lead to confusion, frustration, and a lack of fulfillment. A woman who is constantly trying to meet the expectations placed upon her by others may lose sight of her true desires and aspirations. The more she tries to fit into these prescribed roles, the more she distances herself from her authentic self and the purpose for which she was created. To overcome the weight of these external pressures, women must first learn to recognize them for what they are: external forces that seek to define their worth and dictate their lives. They must understand that their value does not depend on meeting societal standards or the expectations of others. It is critical for women to reconnect with their inner truth, to affirm that they are worthy simply because they exist, and that their worth is not defined by their outward appearance, their career success, or how well they meet external standards. By breaking free from these societal pressures, women can reclaim their agency, their power, and their purpose. When they begin to live authentically, unafraid to pursue their own dreams, to stand firm in their beliefs, and to express themselves fully, they are no longer bound by the limitations placed on them by external forces. Instead, they step into the freedom to create lives that align with their true identity and purpose, free from the constraints of societal expectations. Spiritual and mental manipulation are two of the most subtle and dangerous forces that can work to control a woman's life. They often operate behind the scenes, influencing her thoughts, beliefs, and emotions in ways that are not immediately recognizable. These forms of manipulation exploit a woman's deepest vulnerabilities, such as her desire for love, acceptance, and security, in order to steer her away from her true identity and purpose. The result is often a woman who feels trapped in confusion, doubt, and fear, unable to break free from the grip of forces that distort her perception of reality. At the spiritual level, manipulation often manifests through distorted beliefs about a woman's worth and her role in the world. The enemy, recognizing the immense power that a woman holds when she is aligned with her true purpose, seeks to undermine that power by sowing seeds of fear, guilt, and shame. This manipulation can take many forms, such as convincing a woman that she is unworthy of love or success, that she is destined to fail, or that her dreams are too big and unrealistic. The voice of self-doubt becomes a constant companion, drowning out the still small voice of truth that speaks to her deepest knowing. Christine Fleming, when Christine began to experience her greatest gift. Spiritual manipulation can also involve the use of religious or cultural teachings that distort a woman's understanding of her identity. Many women are raised with the belief that their value is tied to their ability to serve others, particularly in relationships or family roles. While service and sacrifice are noble qualities, when these ideals are taken to extremes or misapplied, they can create a sense of worthlessness in women who feel they are not living up to impossible standards. As such, spiritual manipulation can tell a woman that her worth is only found in pleasing others or in conforming to rigid roles, rather than in recognizing and embracing her unique purpose and divine calling. This creates a disconnection between her spiritual self and her true identity, causing her to feel lost, disconnected, and spiritually unfulfilled. On the mental level, manipulation often operates through the thought patterns that control a woman's actions and decisions. These thoughts are not always her own. They are influenced by external sources, past experiences, or the limiting beliefs that have been instilled in her over time. Mental manipulation can be seen in the form of negative self-talk, where a woman tells herself she is not capable, smart enough, or deserving of success. These thoughts become deeply ingrained and can control her actions, leading her to make choices that limit her potential. The more she believes the lies about herself, the more she begins to live out those beliefs, creating a cycle of self-sabotage that keeps her stuck in a place of fear and inadequacy. Mental manipulation can also come in the form of gaslighting, where a woman's perception of reality is constantly challenged or distorted by others. This can happen in relationships, at work, or in social circles, where a woman is made to feel as though her thoughts and feelings are invalid, irrational, or unimportant. Over time, this causes her to second-guess herself, eroding her confidence and self-trust. The constant questioning of her own reality can make her more dependent on the opinions and validation of others, leaving her open to further manipulation. The intersection of spiritual and mental manipulation is particularly dangerous because it creates a disconnect between a woman's soul and her mind. She may feel spiritually empty, unsure of her purpose, while simultaneously struggling with mental battles that keep her from moving forward. The combination of self-doubt, guilt, fear, and confusion can paralyze her, making it difficult to break free from the cycle of manipulation. You may feel trapped in a life that is not her own, controlled by forces that are not aligned with her true calling. To overcome this spiritual and mental manipulation, a woman must first recognize the presence of these forces in her life. She must understand that the doubts, fears, and insecurities that plague her mind are not a reflection of her true self, that are rather the result of external influences and spiritual forces that seek to limit her potential. By acknowledging these manipulations, she can begin the process of reclaiming her power and aligning her mind and spirit with the truth of who she really is. Breaking free from spiritual and mental manipulation requires a deep understanding of one's true identity and purpose. A woman must reconnect with her inner wisdom, the divine truth that resides within her, and trust that her intuition and inner guidance are the tools she needs to navigate life with confidence. This journey involves quieting the negative voices that tell her she is not enough and replacing them with affirmations of her worth, strength, and capability. It also involves seeking clarity and healing from any past wounds or traumas that may have contributed to these manipulations. Forgiveness, both of others and of oneself, plays a critical role in releasing the grip of manipulation and reclaiming mental and spiritual freedom. Through prayer, meditation, and reflection, a woman can heal her spirit and mind, allowing her to break free from the chains of fear, guilt, and doubt that have held her captive for so long. To resist spiritual and mental manipulation, a woman must surround herself with truth and support. This may come in the form of healthy relationships, a supportive community, or spiritual practices that nourish her soul and strengthen her mind. It is through these practices and connections that a woman can stand firm in her identity and purpose, walking in the strength and authority that were always hers to claim. When a woman fully embraces her true self, mind, body, and spirit, she becomes a powerful force that can overcome any manipulation, reclaiming her life and her destiny. After that, she realizes it's a two-way street. After that, she realizes restoration and empowerment are essential forces in a woman's journey toward reclaiming her full potential and living in alignment with her true identity. They represent the deep, transformative process that heals the wounds of the past, rebuilds the sense of self that may have been lost or distorted, and empowers her to rise above the limitations that have held her back. The power of restoration is not simply about returning to a former state of being, but about a rebirth, a renewal that allows a woman to step into a divine calling with clarity, strength, and purpose. Restoration begins with acknowledging that at some point, something may have been lost, whether it was her sense of worth, her dreams, or her connection to her true purpose. Life's challenges, disappointments, and traumas often leave deep scars. And these experiences can cause a woman to feel broken or disconnected from her full potential. This brokenness can manifest as emotional pain, fear, self-doubt, or even a sense of disillusionment, where she no longer believes that she is capable of achieving the things she once dreamed of. Restoration involves healing from these wounds, addressing the emotional and spiritual pain that may be holding her back, and reclaiming the wholeness that was always part of her being. This process of restoration starts with forgiveness. Forgiveness is an act of liberation. It releases the grip of past hurts, whether they come from others or from the woman's own internal struggles. By forgiving herself and others, a woman creates space for healing and growth, letting go of the emotional weight that has kept her stuck. Restoration is not about denying the past or pretending that pain did not exist, but about allowing those wounds to be healed and transformed into strength and wisdom. When a woman forgives, she opens herself up to the possibility of renewal, where the pain of the past no longer has control over her future. Empowerment follows closely behind restoration, as it is the natural result of healing and reclaiming one's true identity. Empowerment is the process of rediscovering the strength, courage, and wisdom that has always resided within a woman. It is a realization that she is not bound by her past, nor by the limitations others have placed on her, but that she has the ability to shape her own future. Empowerment is about embracing the truth of who she is, her talents, her gifts, and her unique contributions to the world, and stepping confidently into her purpose. When a woman is empowered, she no longer looks to external sources for validation or approval. Instead, she draws from the inner strength that comes from a deep connection to herself and a divine calling. This empowerment allows her to set healthy boundaries, to say no when needed, and to protect her peace. She begins to make decisions that are aligned with her values and vision for her life, trusting her instincts and intuition as guiding forces. Empowerment is not about asserting dominance over others, but about owning her voice, her choices, and her power to create the life she desires. The process of empowerment often involves breaking free from the constraints of fear, doubt, and insecurity. It requires a woman to step outside her comfort zone and challenge the beliefs that have limited her growth. These beliefs, whether they are rooted in societal expectations, past experiences, or negative self-talk, can create walls that prevent her from fully stepping into her potential. Previous video and anthology of messages and action, which is the third book that we're running out yet. Empowerment requires courage. The courage to challenge those beliefs. The courage to take risks. And the courage to stand up for ourselves even when the path is uncertain. Restoration and empowerment are deeply interconnected. Restoration heals the wounds and restores the broken parts, while empowerment provides the tools and confidence to move forward. As a woman restores her sense of self-worth and inner strength, she becomes empowered to create change, not only in her own life, but in the lives of those around her. Empowerment gives her the clarity and vision to pursue her dreams, to rise above the limitations placed on her, and to build a life she was meant to live. This journey of restoration and empowerment is not always easy. It requires vulnerability, self-reflection, and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. It involves facing fears, confronting past hurts, and challenging deeply ingrained beliefs that no longer serve her. But the rewards are immeasurable. When a woman allows herself to go through this process of restoration, she becomes a stronger, more resilient version of herself. Someone who is equipped to face challenges with grace, perseverance, and confidence. Empowered by a restored sense of self, she can navigate the world with a renewed sense of purpose, making decisions and taking actions that align with her highest potential. The power of restoration and empowerment extends beyond the individual. When a woman becomes whole and empowered, she becomes a beacon of light for others. Her strength, confidence, and wisdom inspire those around her, creating a ripple effect that touches communities, families, and society as a whole. Empowered women become leaders, change makers, and catalysts for transformation. They encourage other women to heal, to rise, and to embrace their own power, creating a collective force of restoration and empowerment that uplifts everyone it touches. The power of restoration and empowerment is a testament to the resilience and strength that lies within every woman. It is a reminder that no matter the hardships or setbacks, a woman has the ability to heal, to grow, and to rise to new heights. It is about embracing the fullness of who she is, standing firm in her truth, and walking in the power that was always meant to be hers. When a woman restores herself, she empowers not only her own life, but the lives of others, creating a legacy of strength, hope, and transformation for generations to come. Knowledge and awareness are powerful tools that equip a woman to navigate the complexities of life with wisdom and purpose. They are essential in helping a woman understand not only the world around her, but also her place within it. In a world where confusion and uncertainty often cloud one's path, knowledge provides clarity and direction, while awareness opens the door to deeper insight and understanding. The more a woman is equipped with knowledge, the more empowered she becomes to make informed decisions, challenge harmful narratives, and step into her divine calling with confidence. At its core, knowledge is the foundation upon which a woman builds her life. It encompasses more than just formal education or intellectual achievement. It involves a deep understanding of who she is, the world she inhabits, and the forces that shape both her internal and external environment. When a woman gains knowledge about herself, her strengths, her weaknesses, her desires, and her purpose, she begins to live more intentionally. She no longer moves through life blindly or reactively, but instead approaches each decision and interaction with a sense of clarity and purpose. And awareness takes this understanding even further. It is the ability to perceive beyond the surface level, to recognize the hidden forces at play, and to discern the truth in situations that may not be immediately obvious. Awareness involves being attuned to one's surroundings, the dynamics of relationships, and the cultural and societal factors that influence behavior and beliefs. It is about being able to recognize when something is not aligned with one's values or purpose, even if it is not immediately visible to the untrained eye. Awareness allows a woman to make decisions based on truth and not simply on impulse or external pressure. A key part of this knowledge and awareness is understanding the societal structures that impact a woman's life. These structures, whether they are related to gender, race, culture, or socio-economic status, can shape a woman's experiences, opportunities, and limitations. Knowledge of these dynamics helps a woman to see how she is influenced by both visible and invisible forces. When she is aware of the systems in place that may seek to diminish her voice or her power, she can better equip herself to navigate these challenges, to advocate for herself and others, and to break free from limiting stereotypes and expectations. The knowledge and awareness that a woman gains can serve as a source of protection. In a world filled with manipulation, deception, and exploitation, awareness is a shield that helps a woman recognize when she is being taken advantage of, when her boundaries are being violated, or when she is being led astray. By understanding the tactics of manipulation, whether they are emotional, mental, spiritual, or physical, a woman can protect herself and take the necessary steps to remove herself from harmful situations. Knowledge also gives her the power to heal from past wounds by understanding the root causes of pain, trauma, or dysfunction and seeking the right paths for recovery. Awareness is also essential in recognizing the importance of nurturing the mind, body, and spirit. Many women often neglect their own well-being in favor of taking care of others or fulfilling external expectations. However, when a woman is aware of the importance of self-care, mentally, physically, and emotionally, she understands that her strength is rooted in her ability to take care of herself. Knowledge of healthy boundaries, stress management, and self-love practices can radically transform a woman's experience of life, allowing her to operate from a place of abundance rather than depletion. Awareness of her own needs, desires, and limits helps her to create a life that is balanced and fulfilling. Another critical aspect of knowledge and awareness is recognizing the power of words. The words that a woman speaks to herself and to others shape her reality. Knowledge of the power of language and thought helps her to understand that her inner dialogue and the way she communicates with the world around her have profound effects on her emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. When a woman is aware of the impact of her words, she can choose to speak life, encouragement, and positivity over herself and her circumstances. This awareness gives her the power to reframe negative beliefs and patterns, turning them into affirmations of strength and possibility. In the context of spiritual growth, knowledge and awareness are essential for cultivating a deeper connection with one's faith or spiritual practices. A woman who is aware of her spiritual needs and understands her relationship with the divine can build a foundation of inner peace, strength, and guidance. Knowledge of spiritual principles and practices, whether through scripture, prayer, meditation, or reflection, helps her to stay grounded and connected to a higher purpose, even in the midst of life's challenges. Awareness of a spiritual journey empowers her to walk in alignment with her values, resist temptation, and make choices that reflect her deepest convictions. As a woman gains knowledge and awareness, she becomes a catalyst for change, not just in her own life, but in the lives of those around her. Knowledge enables her to recognize opportunities for growth, both for herself and for her community. She becomes a beacon of wisdom and inspiration, empowering others to seek knowledge, to challenge the status quo, and to live lives of purpose and authenticity. A woman who is knowledgeable and aware is able to see beyond her immediate circumstances and make decisions that have a lasting impact, not only on her future, but on the future of generations to come. The importance of knowledge and awareness cannot be overstated. They are not merely tools for personal growth, but they are essential to living a life that is aligned with one's purpose, values, and truth. With knowledge, a woman gains the ability to discern, to understand, and to choose paths that lead to fulfillment and freedom. With awareness, she is equipped to protect herself, to create meaningful change, and to help others along the way. Knowledge and awareness are not just privileges. They are the keys that unlock the door to a life of empowerment, growth, and transformation. Through them, a woman is able to step into her full potential and make a lasting impact in the world. So, the power of knowledge and awareness is the foundation upon which a woman can build a life of strength, purpose, and fulfillment. When she understands herself, her environment, and the forces at play in the world around her, she becomes equipped to make choices that align with the highest potential. Knowledge allows her to discern truth from deception, to protect her peace, and to embrace her own unique identity. Awareness opens her eyes to opportunities for growth, healing, and empowerment, enabling her to rise above the challenges and limitations placed before her. No longer bound by ignorance or fear, a woman who embraces knowledge and awareness steps into her full potential. Confident in her ability to navigate the complexities of life, she becomes a beacon of light, a source of strength and inspiration, not only for herself. This is the power that lies within her, a power to shape her own destiny, a power, thank you,